It's August 17th, 2019. I'm 39 years old, 30 weeks pregnant, and marrying the love of my life. It's the cutest little backyard blended family wedding you've ever seen. And I'm walking down the aisle to that song, 1,000 Years. You know the one from the Twilight Saga soundtrack. You can keep your judgment to yourself. I should have been choking back tears of joy, amazed at the turn my life had taken over the last year. But instead, it was happiness, joy, and elation that felt 1,000 years away. Pregnancy is supposed to be a magical time. At least that's what I had been told. The movies, the TV shows, the commercials, the commercials, full of blissful women painting nurseries and smelling tiny, freshly washed onesies. It was like they mocked me, highlighting the depth of the darkness I was experiencing. You see, the thought of painting a nursery made me feel overwhelmed. Those tiny onesies made me anxious and afraid. 1,000 negative thoughts were my near constant companion. And what did these thoughts say about me as a mother? I certainly couldn't ask anyone, so I suffered in silence. Mental health disorders are the #1 complication of pregnancy and childbirth. And if that surprises you, you're not alone. It certainly surprised me the first time I heard it. We've raised a lot of awareness around postpartum depression recently, but it's not just depression. And as my story will illustrate, it's not just postpartum. Almost as soon as the sperm meets the egg, I can feel the darkness begin to descend. But this was my third baby, and I thought it would be different this time. I mean, my new husband was a psychotherapist, for goodness sakes. Certainly, it wouldn't happen again. But not only did it happen again, but it was worse. It was like being trapped behind glass. It was like losing access to all positive emotions. I felt isolated and afraid within my own family. But here's the real irony. I had been a mental health advocate for years. I had been living my recovery out loud for almost 2 decades. I had a therapist, a psychiatrist, I had good insurance, I had financial resources, I had a strong support system. And even I hesitated to share my darkest thoughts with anyone. They'll take your children away. They'll deem you an unfit mother, the thought screamed. So I told no one until they got so dark and so scary that I had no choice but to speak up. Thankfully, my amazing husband reminded me that anxiety and depression lie. He helped me call my psychiatrist and my therapist. He helped me reach out to my support system. And they helped me challenge the thoughts and the beliefs around what pregnancy should be like. They reminded me that the TV shows and the movies and the commercials aren't real. And it's okay if my experience of pregnancy wasn't blissful. They helped me find joy in the midst of the darkness. and they helped me keep putting one foot in front of the other. It wasn't easy, but it was doable because I had my support system back. And then, after my son was born and the placenta was delivered, almost like magic, the darkness began to lift. But it's not like that for everyone. For some, the darkness doesn't descend until after the baby's born. For some, it's not darkness, but anxiety and rage. For others, it's intrusive thoughts that are scary and disturbing. And in the most rare cases, delusions and hallucinations. 1 in 5 birthing persons will experience a mental health challenge during pregnancy or the postpartum period. And we need to be talking about it more. We need to be sharing our stories. Because if I, with all of my knowledge and resources, hesitated to ask for help, how many others are suffering in silence? My name is Bonnie Anderson, and this is my brave.